think whatever you want about me and my career and, say whatever. I've been doing this for 41 years. Okay. 41 years. I've done it on every level. I started in the territories. I've done everything and anything. Have I always done it well? No. Have I made mistakes? Absolutely. Could I have done things better? Could I have, if I knew then what I know now, had a totally different, would have capitalized on opportunities much more. The point is, I've got the one thing that an immense amount of that most people don't have: experience. And I'm not afraid to state my opinion about what is, where the problems are and how to make them better. And the only reason that I'm stating those is because I genuinely love the wrestling business and I want to see it survive. You think what you want, and there's the big move, we'll talk, because you wanted to ask the 4 questions later.
Yep.
And this applies to that, of this myth, this, complete utter bullshit fable that everyone wants to tell themselves, oh, the wrestling business has changed. It's changed, different now, which is complete and utter horseshit. It is. That's like telling me that magic shows, magicians changed. No, they haven't. They've evolved. They've grown. They've, become much more sophisticated because your audience has become much more sophisticated. But intrinsically, the one basic precept of a magic show is that the magician is up there trying to convince you that he's altering reality or defying the laws of physics. That doesn't change. He's still selling you exactly the same thing as what he was selling you during the vaudeville times back in the 30s and then 20s. That never changed. Professional wrestling in 1900 was selling an audience on the competitive finish, that the outcome was not predetermined, that it had gravity and consequence, that you're not a wrestler, you're a competitive prize fighter, no different than a boxer or an MMA fighter. No different. That hasn't changed. An audience is still buying a ticket to believe in only and tune into the TV only to believe in that one concept.
Do you know
you can bullshit your stuff all you want, but it has not changed.
There's apparently news clippings out there from the 1880s talking about pro wrestling as pro wrestling that we understand now, not as in a competitive contest. So, I mean, it's always
and that's the other big myth or misnomer of, they now know it's bull. They've always known it's bullshit. The reason that they were, they would buy a ticket and by the thousands, grown adults. Go back and watch YouTube, and you'll see, the vast majority of the audience were adults still to this day. Contrary to what your popular believe, the vast majority of an audience at a live event are adults. Okay, and why would they buy a ticket? Well, because the performers, the workers, were able to allow the audience to believe in that one concept, and that there was a consequence to the win and the loss. And at no given time, kayfabe's dead. No, it's not. That was a respect for your audience. Kayfabe was only a respect for your audience, and it was never to insult them or make them feel stupid for spending their money and believing in you. Mm-hmm. That was it. And there was an unspoken agreement that, hey, we know, and we know, but we know you don't want us to tell you that and that we won't tell you, and we have this agreement so we can all go and enjoy it for what it is, and we're going to get our money's worth. We're going to be able to, because this is how important it is to realize that your job is to motivate this guy who has a wife and he has a couple kids, to motivate him to leave. And hey, he can't just come, you know what I mean? He can't come by himself. He's not a bachelor anymore. I want to go watch wrestling. Shit. I got to take the kids. I got to take the wife, well, that's, it's, let's just say it's for easy math. It's 10 pounds, 10 quid.
Sorry, most of the people watching are American.
Or $10, it's 10. Well, that's 40 You know what I mean? Well, but the time he pays for his kids, you know, you got to feed them because the little monsters always eat. So, you know, you got to feed the kids, then you got to buy merch. He spent 70 or 80 to just go and forget, just to be entertained. And, you know, 70, 80 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot for him. And, you know, he doesn't want to have to sit there and go, God, man, I'm going to have to pay the power bill late because I spent the 80 to come here. He wants to sit there and completely forget and just to truly believe in who you are and believe in why you're doing it so he can care whether or not you win or lose. He's not there to evaluate your match. He's not there to go, oh, yeah, they did that spot at this. Oh, that's a rest hold. He doesn't care about that. And 98% of the fan base don't. It's the 2%, the minor vocal minority, the little niche audience that now everyone, every wrestler, every wrestling promotion all try to market strictly to that. And yet, Mr. and Mrs. Tesco, we don't care about them. But you know what? Mr. and Mrs. Tesco are the majority of the population. Mr. and Mrs. Walmart are the majority of the population. And they don't go on the internet and check websites. They don't watch this particular interview. They don't read a newsletter. They don't care. They want to turn the channel, see somebody on that screen that captures their attention, makes them want to live vicariously through that particular person, and then take them on a ride that makes them forget about their everyday workaday life. Period. Hulk Hogan was able to do that. Steve Austin was able to do that. The Rock was able to do that. You want to be the indie darling, and you know, that's fine. It's an art. It's subjective. You're free to do whatever you want, you know. But the real objective of any wrestler should be to come into this business and to be as successful and make as much money as you possibly can, to create even more opportunities to go and do on even grander scales, and to make a difference in the wrestling business via the business itself, which is to become an attraction, a real star, and draw money. And you're never going to do that as long as you're endeavoring to only perform for the wrestlers in the back. And for someone who's a fan, again, just a fan, who's going to write a report and give you some critical claim that's going to pat you on the back and give you praise. Because let me tell you something, a pat on the back is only 2 feet higher than a kick in the ass.